favorite TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Welcome to Empower. I'm glad you're together with us, and God has been gracious to us, and that is why we've met again. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. In this program, we focus on people and workplace, and we continue learning so that we can become better and better, because we really want to accomplish our mission on earth. Because we don't just want to work, live, and go. We want also to leave a mark, a great impact, and that can only happen if we are going to do what God designed us to do. And I'm not alone. I'm still with Wangui. Steve, you can say hi to us.
Yeah, thank you, Beatrice, for having me once again. I thank God for this opportunity, and I welcome our viewers to work together with us.
Yes.
Let us learn. Let us learn.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Wangui. And last week we were looking at workload, how to manage workload and even stress at work. And we realized that it's something that we really need to see how to go through it.
Yes.
And today, our viewers, we have something different, because in any workplace, as we always say, you don't work alone.
Yeah.
You work with people. And so issues that pertains to people and how we work will always come out as we discuss.
Yeah.
And today we have a very, very interesting discussion. And you're going to our topic of the day is navigating office politics.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear about politics, something negative comes to mind.
Yes.
But you know, in real sense, when you talk about organizational politics, it doesn't have to be negative all the time. Actually, I want to read a definition here about office politics. It be defined as in the interactions and dynamics among individuals within an organization. But often it's influenced by power and authority, whereby someone strives for influence and maintaining or gaining power within a team, department, or even organization. So it's not really something that is purely negative, but it's when that word is mentioned, the first reaction or the first thing that comes to mind is something negative. What do you think most of the time it's negative sided?
I think it's negative because of what normally happens now, leave alone now the organization, but now in a country and countries of this world. That's what have made, if you hear somebody is a politician or it's a political season, you are like, you take it with a pinch of salt. Because most of the time, politicians, and I hope I will not be one someday. Maybe one, you never know. You better be careful. You never know. Most of the time, they are driven with that, you want to influence. You want people to be on your side. Power. You want to have the power. And they say power is in the people. So you want people to come to your side. And most of the time, if I want to gain mileage over you, we are in the same contention, we are contending the same thing, I will tend to paint you black.
I can't speak well of you.
Yes. I will tell them Beatrice is this and that and that, so that I can shine at your expense. So that's why when you hear politics, you are like, you are a bit uncomfortable. And because of such relationship, is more so when we come to the organization aspect, we are dealing with people and we are people. So there is all that aspect of wanting to influence in us. And I believe if we are open enough, you'd say you'd want to you'd want to influence. I would want to influence. So there is that you really want to exercise some power, some authority. And you can be the person saying, you can be the person followed, and others should do what you're saying, and what you think is right should be the one to thrive. And as a result, those things will always be there. You can. We cannot do without those things, because where people are. And there's something also you brought up, the dynamics.
Yeah,
People are so different.
Yes.
The way I see things is not the way you see things. So you'll find these things tend to cluster people in certain classes. This one I try to flow more with Beatrice because our ideologies and the way we see things is the same.
Yes.
Then somebody else who does not flow with us is in another cluster.
Yes.
And there comes now the office or the organization politics.
Yes, and one thing to note is even if we say it's not necessarily negative, it can also be negative at workplace.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've realized why we normally, when people talk about politics at workplace, we always talk about it in a negative manner.
Yes.
But you need to see how you can thrive in a situation, because any organization, and I'm boldly saying this, even after, because I've even done some studies on politics in organization in my line of career, and I've realized it's something that will always be there, whether positive or negative. But as an employee, as someone working there, you have to know how to navigate those politics within the organization. And don't always assume them to be negative. Know that there are people who have power, people who want to influence, and there are people who want to make things work. And should you be on the opposite of it, it always look to you like it's negative. And should you realize it's like not what you stand for, then you need to ask yourself how to get to thrive within that space. And that is why we are going to look at how do I navigate in such office politics. Because you can still thrive, you can still manage your way within the space. Even if you realize they're there. And we know, and actually people talk about it, because we know these are there. And the problem is when they are used negatively in most cases, then they disrupt work and people tend to feel like it's unfair. And one thing that you can do is to build positive relationships. At workplace, always try to build positive relationships so that you can navigate.
It's very true. And that will call for seeing people, all people with the worth that they have. We have said many times that every human has a level of dignity. Don't take anybody for granted. And always see the best in the other person. So when I come to you, maybe when we meet even the first time, let me appreciate you. Let me look on the positive side. Because in this office politics also, there are people who will come to bad mouth others and to say bad of others. But let me maintain that I know she's like this, I know he's like this, and I'm giving him a benefit of doubt, and I will cultivate the positive.
And you see, even the person that you see like they are more spoken, they want to influence so much, they want to exert their power so much within the organization. The best thing you can do is to learn from them. Just get to understand them. Get to know what kind of a person is this. What can I get from them? One thing I've come to realize in any organization, why I value, I recognize this, is the fact that you are different, and the fact someone can voice something that I cannot. Maybe because I'm fearing to say, my nature is to watch, my nature is just to listen, my nature is to let others do. I'm also grateful for that person who can voice what I'm also going through, but I was not able to
say it. It's
and
very
they help.
True.
So you cannot ignore such, and it is good to appreciate that it has a positive side. When you develop such relationship, just know this person has a plus. I may not like everything, because even them, they don't like everything you do 100%. There are things they are not also comfortable with, but you can be able to see there is, despite all this, I'll respect this person, I'll ensure my relationship with him or her is positive, because there is something they are bringing on board that I don't have. They can represent me where I cannot represent myself.
It's very true. It's very true. And that's why we are saying everybody should be given a level ground to operate on.
Yes, because if you don't have a level ground, then some people are favored. And by the way, those are some of the things that fuel now this office politics negatively. Favoritism, that unhealthy competition, grudges, hatred, all those things. Beautiful. Another thing that you mentioned when you're saying about the definition is also understand the dynamics of an organization. When you get to any organization, understand the dynamics. get to know what happens, get to know who has more influence,
Yes.
get to know how
Yeah.
things move,
Yeah.
how things move from one place to another.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be a complaining person
Yes.
just because you don't
Yeah.
understand the dynamics.
It's very
but the
true.
moment you're able to pick and know that it flows from here to here. You know, I've
Very
had
important.
situation whereby even people tell you openly,
Yeah.
and they'll come and tell you, we know very well, if you present this thing, it will go through. That is politics.
Yes,
That is
pure politics.
that is organizational
Yes,
politics.
it
is not bad,
Yeah.
but they have come to understand
Yeah.
that this person, I worked somewhere as a HR person in one of the NGOs, and people could openly say, and I came to understand when I was doing my leadership courses and that is organizational politics,
Yeah.
that if Beatrice presents this to the African director, he will listen. He will do.
Yeah.
So there are things they could just keep aside
Yeah.
for her to do.
To come and
That
do,
tells you those are politics,
Yeah.
and you just need to understand the organizational dynamics,
It's very
how
true.
things work.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's a HR, you have a strength to present a certain matter,
Yes.
and it's taken seriously than someone else presenting.
very
Maybe
true.
another manager presents something, it's taken serious, but that is how things have been working.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and that is how people come to speak about them.
Yes.
So they become organizational politics, but you just know how to navigate.
It's
If
very
Beatrice
true.
presents this case and it works,
Yeah.
why don't you go to Beatrice?
Yes. Let
know.
her do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll find
Yeah.
if you oppose the flow,
Yes.
you will use so much energy, you'll be stressed,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, you
Yeah.
will not have it done.
Yes.
So it is good to understand, especially when you are new in a place.
Yes.
Sit down first and watch, listen,
Yes.
observe. Then you'll find things are working out
Yes.
smoother than they could have if you just went with. And don't have a fixed mindset, because that is what disturbs most of us.
Yes.
I was in this organization, this is how we were doing it, we were doing it well. Now I
Yes.
come here with the same fixed mindset.
Yes.
It will not work here.
Yes.
Because the dynamics here, they are different.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. And you see, in any organization, you get maybe there are those gatekeepers,
Yeah.
there are influencers, there are decision makers.
Yes.
The moment you realize where someone stands
Yes.
and the position they play or the role they play in an organization, then you'll be able to respect that and it will
Yes.
work.
Yes.
Because this person is an influencer.
It's true.
So they're able to influence.
Yeah.
But they don't make decisions.
Yes.
They are decision makers.
Yes.
You'll use the gatekeeper to get to the influencer, to be
It's
able to
true.
get through,
Yeah.
get to the influencer. Influencer is able to reach to the decision
Yes.
makers, and those things happen.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to understand those dynamics in an organization, you'll be a person who is always complaining.
Yes.
And those positive politics within the organization will continue to exist
It's true.
because it's a structure.
Yeah, and you'll not be able to get your niche. You know, if I see, I want to be to do what you are doing.
Yes.
And you're doing it better than me. I will not be able to find my ground. But when I know she's good in that,
Yeah.
let her continue with that. I'll find my space.
Yes.
And I will also be good in that. And they'll be saying, if you want something done,
Good.
that is the channel.
That is
Yes,
the channel.
Yeah.
Even if they don't say I'm the one who told you.
Yes,
But
but,
if you go
yes.
to so and so, it is going to be done.
Yeah.
Those are positive organizational politics that will exist, and
Yeah.
it is good not to ignore them
It's
because
true.
they are very important. And the other thing that is very important is when you're talking about organizational politics,
Yeah.
is as a person to navigate, because what we are discussing today,
Yeah,
don't
is to
forget, is to
navigate.
navigate
Yes.
within those politics, because they'll
Yeah.
be there, and you'll not have control over them.
Yes.
So the best thing is to navigate for your best.
Yes.
So you have to stay neutral and objective.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what you want, you stay neutral.
Yeah.
Do your bit, follow the right channel,
Yes.
and be objective.
Yes.
Don't start just saying, I don't know why they say it so and so. Why don't you stay neutral and see things move?
Yeah. Yeah, come here knowing this is what my objective, this is what I want at the end of the day.
Yes.
And again, come here with an open mind. Listen to everybody. That being neutral means
Yes.
I can deceive it from all sides. Don't come with a biased mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Even you'll find even in at home when you have more than 2 children, you'll have to be very neutral and you'll be very objective, because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you might find yourself
Siding
leaning
with
on one side. Yeah.
Beautiful. We need to take a short break.
Yeah.
I believe you're there and you're watching us. God bless you for being part of this program. We're taking a short break. Don't go far. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. Welcome back. This is Empower. We focus on people and workplace. And before we went for a break, we were talking about being neutral and objective. And something comes to mind, especially when you're handling conflicts.
Yes.
And there's this tendency of knowing if it's so and so who is handling that matter, this is the direction they will go, or they'll favor so and so.
Yes.
No, that is politics.
Yes.
When a matter is being handled, being neutral means that when you're talking about political in the organization, that's politics in the organization. When you're handling conflicts, there's need to be unbiased.
Yes.
So that people also doesn't turn to be negative.
Yeah.
And that is when we bring in the aspects of policies. We say in human resource, there's nothing that is standalone.
Yeah, true.
It goes through the cycle of policies, the procedures within the organization. One links to another. And in such a case, when it comes to matters of conflict, politics can come up, especially if you're biased. Yes. And you will be known. Even people will be knowing. And I just love this issue. You know, people will know if your decision is handled by the manager so and so.
Oh, yeah.
Wewe unaisha. But pray it goes to so and so.
Yes.
You'll be okay.
Yes.
So when you're handling things to ensure that you're in the right side of organizational politics, please do it without biasness.
It's very important. Let everybody be heard.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes even why we are biased, it's maybe because you know the character of one of these two.
Yes, you have a history.
You have a history. Yes. And you know who is the troublesome, who is the troublesome one. So even before you listen, you have a conclusion. But it's good to listen to them. Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise we'll be knowing. You just pray. You've been called to that office. You just pray. Because things are not okay. The other thing is you need to be diplomatic and tactful as you navigate.
Yeah.
Be diplomatic. When faced with conflicts or differing opinions, practice diplomacy and tact. What you're saying, you choose your words carefully.
Yes.
Don't jump in very easily. And especially because if you know, you have an information regarding how a matter is handled within the organization. If you're not careful, you fail to be tactful, you fail to be diplomatic. Because you're going to go there with already a preconceived mind. And you already know the end before it is done. So, and that is you. The matter may be handled very differently. But it's because this political status is affecting you negatively.
Yes.
So be diplomatic, be tactful.
Along the way, gather skills. You can handle this case once, twice. At least learn how those tactics on how to be handling these things.
So that you do them very well. The other thing, always maintain ethical standards as you navigate through political status in the organization. And one thing is, even if you know something, there's that information circulating. Can you remain ethical? Don't go with this aspect of, I know how you do these things. I already know. Even some people outrightly can tell you, Madam, I know this one is just going to go like this, so you just tell me. I remember I had an instance whereby we were handling a certain review for confirmation after probation of a senior manager. And the CEO, who was the boss, is a very strict person, but very objective. But this person had already preconceived in his mind, this guy, I don't think he can confirm me. So as we go through, even in the middle of the conversation, he actually told us, if you guys have decided I'm not going to be confirmed, you better just say we don't need to continue with this process. So I realized, asked him, okay, where is this coming from? And I know, I'm an adult, I'm a mature person. So I'm like, okay, now where are we heading this discussion? So you realize you're not ethical now in this conversation because of what you know or what is being perceived within the organization, the office politics concerning the boss. So the end of that thing was not good because the moment we went to the other level, we could not accept that.
It's true.
You see?
Especially when you attack somebody directly. even though their intentions were good, you've already poisoned that person.
Yes.
And there are people who are so unethical to an extent of even attacking your personality, your gender, such things, which is very bad. Even your appearance, it is very bad. We should maintain that ethical, that respect for each other.
And the other thing about still on that ethics, when it comes to organizational politics, because we're already speaking about something, don't be a person who starts with rumors. I know we talked about rumors sometimes back. Because some people can start rumors out of what they have had within the organization. They even create some things which are not real. So again, you're becoming unethical. So navigate properly. Remain ethical in such a situation. Remain with your stand. Know that this is the correct thing to do. This is even some things ethics calls for you to keep quiet.
True.
You've had discussions, you've heard what happens, you've heard even when people are talking about the management within the organization, talking about the culture, which actually sometimes is political, and people are talking about it, but sometimes you don't have to say anything.
It's true.
You can opt to keep quiet so that you remain ethical, because some things that are spoken, they may not even be true.
Very true.
So it's good to be very careful. The other thing to navigate there is to be able to practice emotional intelligence. And we mentioned this sometime back, and I think one day we'll handle this as a topic of its own, because you need to understand your emotions, the emotions of other people, that even as you interact with them, then you're able to get to understand one another.
Very true. And you, when it comes to that intelligence, you are able to know, yes, I can feel it. Just like the example you've given about that manager who came out and said, I know this. If she was intelligent emotionally, she could not have let those emotions come out. At least hold it to the end and see how the outcome will be. Because the moment you don't do that, then you lose. And you see now this political status in an organization is supposed to help you grow. And you know, when you're a person of emotional intelligence and you're able to relate with everyone, you're able to present yourself in a meeting, and even when things are hot, you can remain calm. When things, even the way maybe someone talks to you, even the senior team, you respond differently, and they see you're different. It also makes them get to know, we have someone who can do something. If this person has been able to go through this, they can become they can go to another level. They've been able to handle hard times, they've been able to handle situations, even emotions that were actually strong. You expected someone to react in a bad way, but they're able to react in a very calm manner. Someone is able to see, I think here, this one can be responsible for.
And as you navigate it through that, you realize you work with anyone, and when there's a suggestion of who can work where, then your name will come up. It will be mentioned. What about so and so? And so it's, by the way, let's talk about this person. Let's give them so you end up growing as a result of those political situations, but how you handled them.
How you handled yourself.
So it is good to do that. The other thing that is also important is promote yourself ethically. And I would love to explain this. It's always good to learn to highlight your achievements. And especially when you realize that in an organization whereby things happen to those people who actually their achievements are seen, achievements are discussed, and promotion comes to such people, do not hide your achievements. You don't have to go opening, telling everyone, but let them know. Record them. Actually encourage and record those achievements. Look for an opportunity with your boss. Have a conversation with them. Let them know what you're doing. Even seek their feedback. But while you're doing this, is want them to see your achievement. So that you can promote yourself ethically. Slowly, they'll see there's something you're doing.
I like the way you are saying it ethically. Because some people now, especially if you are the kind of person with a very strong personality that goes out so much, they will now tend to put others down when they are promoting themselves. Yes, you have achieved all that and you are good at it, but be humble, be civil, bring it in a way that we will not say, anaringa sana.
Unajua, even in the Bible, it tells us not to blow trumpet
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yes.
But what we mean here is, as an employee,
Yeah.
you have a right to go and present what you have achieved
Yes.
to your boss.
Yes.
And let them understand. Have a conversation. You know, sometimes we just wait until they'll come and call us and give us assignment or
Yes.
even give us feedback from them. It's also good to seek audience from them.
Yeah.
Tell them, sir, I would love to have a conversation with you. And then they'll be eager to hear what. Maybe they're thinking you're coming to us for money.
Yeah.
But no. You did just, I was reflecting
Yes.
on what I've been working on, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity you've given me.
Yeah.
Let me tell them I'm happy that you've led me well and even guided me accordingly. And as a
Yes.
result of that, I've been able
This
to
is what-
achieve
yeah.
one, I've been able to achieve two, three, and I'm looking forward to achieve 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And you'll hear them.
Yeah.
They'll actually see, there is someone I have here.
Yes.
So ethically do it.
Yes.
So that, and especially if you know, they use achievements
Yes.
that are seen and
Yes.
known
Yeah.
to promote people.
Yes.
And actually we know how promotions happen.
Yeah.
And we encourage employers to do promotions correctly. Let's have a procedure. Let people understand. Not for us just to hear it as political statements that, you know, promotions here are for the few who are. Promotions doesn't go to everyone in any organization because not everyone does well. But let it go to those people who qualify.
Yes.
So, but guide us on how to. So, should you realize an organization whereby how things work here
Yes. The
is
politics,
that people are promoted, but you must have worked here for this time. You have to be on the
Achieve
right
this,
side of the bosses. You must be seen you're doing well. Then let your boss see you're doing well by doing well and also creating audience with them.
Yeah,
and
it's
let them
very
just
true.
listen to them.
Yeah, and that documenting also can save you in a bad day.
Yes.
When people want to undercut you and say she's doing nothing here, or even when a new management comes and some people are close to it and they want to bring you down.
Yes.
You will tell them, see, this is what I have achieved over time. So it's good to document, as you're saying. Yeah.
And you see, for example, when you brought a very nice point. When you get a new team leader.
Yes.
Most of the time when they come on board in head of department or something, they want to have conversations with their employees, one-on-one.
Yeah.
It is good for you also to present what you've been able to achieve, what you're working on,
Yeah.
how you're improving yourself. That this person already has a picture of who you are. Not lies, but giving the truth. You know, after some time, this person will get to know what kind of a person this is.
Yes.
But let them know what you can do, what you have done. Because that helps you to move to the next level. So office politics, because I know we are closing, should not just be negative, as we have actually most of the time perceived. But it becomes negative, it is used wrongly.
Yeah.
And we are not able to navigate correctly.
Yes.
But as long as you navigate correctly within the politics that exist in an organization, you're actually going to excel. Maybe you can hear your words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've loved this topic. It is an eye-opener. And let us always, like we said when we were starting this year, let us see opportunities everywhere.
Yes.
Let us not allow things to put us down. Even in those politics, find a way. If they are putting you down because you think you don't have the skills, go back to school also. Get those skills. Come back now, let them have nothing to say about you. So it's something that we can negotiate, we can mingle with, and come out successfully.
Wow, amazing. And you know something else that I would want to say here is, in any organization, there are those people who will go towards the negative or even the positive. Always know the right people to associate with. So that's because you'll be more like the people you associate with.
Very true.
Thank you so much, Wangui, for being together with us. This has been Empower, and as we navigate through whatever we go through, be it in the business, be it as employees, please let us do it, taking care of ourselves and desiring to become the best we can. This has been Empower. God bless you so much. We see you next week. My name is Beatrice Chuchu.
Are we in the last days? As we see the wars and hear of the rumors of war around the globe, the breakout of pandemics, the apostasy among the believers, more so spiritual leaders, and the increased and aggravated moral decline in human values and beliefs in our global society, the blood moons, that is the eclipses and earthquakes among other occurrences. Do these things point to the end of the